Welcome to the Beyond the Bucket Show, a podcast centered around optimizing all life's buckets. We all have buckets we are balancing: coaching, entrepreneurial ventures, family, passion projects, and health. Let's all take this journey together and become bucket fillers. And here's your host, Chris McSwain.
Welcome back to another solo episode, Beyond the Buckets. Thank you for joining us. Greatly appreciate it. Just my notes again, my thoughts, and I think I love just coming up with some of this stuff or finding it somewhere and then being able to present it. And it's good reminders. So I hope you like it too. But the first one that we're going to talk about is be aware of unlearned wisdom. That, to me, there's a lot of like gurus out here these days, and a lot of it is unlearned wisdom because you might find a charismatic personality that knows how to cultivate a group, and that group becomes, enamored with that person. And I always, I always like to see. I saw this actually recently, but I would be more impressed with the bookshelf of books in somebody's home rather than the size of their television. And if the size of their television is bigger than their bookshelf, then that person might not be very smart. Now, with that being said, books are also to be mobile now. So you can get it on your phone, you can get it on your iPad or Kindle or something like that. So books may not be as prevalent, but I always enjoy reading a good book. But beware of unlearned wisdom. I think that is something that a lot of people need to understand who they're listening to. Um, Number one. So that's the first one. Next one is something that I just kind of jotted down as as I was just thinking, but it is you can't have joy without pain. You can't have sun without rain. You can't have success without struggle, and you can't enjoy life without being humble. Something that I wrote down because I don't know where I was. This might have been, a couple years back. I just love this saying. Can't have joy without pain. Can't have sun without rain. Can't have success without struggle. Can't enjoy life without being humble. There's a good and the bad to everything, no matter what situation you're gonna be in. And I think it's always gonna be your perspective on how you perceive things. If you're able to perceive them in a positive way, yes, it may be raining today. Tomorrow it may be sunny. So you can always look. It's not sunny yet. I always tell my kids, they like to say, I can't do this, Dad, I can't do this. I said, "I haven't done it, not I can't. You have not done it yet." So I just think if you have a perspective on something in a positive light, no matter what it is, if it's joy or pain, same thing. Make sure that you have the blessings of both. If it's sun or rain, same thing. If it's success or struggle, it's the same thing. And without enjoying life, you have to make sure that you remain humble throughout the process. So that that's the first one. The next one is the measure of true wealth is the amount of things that you have that money can buy. Again, the true measure of wealth is the amount of things that you have that money can't buy. And what are things that money can't buy? Well, one is your family. You can't buy that. And, some people have strained relationships with their family, but then they may have friends. You're gonna have somebody in a relationship with you. It's your family and your friends. And then for me, it's also the flexibility and freedom. We live in a great country, regardless of anything that is currently going on. We still live in a great country. And I think that's important for people to understand that the true measure of wealth is not the amount of things that you have or the money that 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 you have. It's the amount of things that money can't buy. Sometimes you got to really think about that sort of thing. The next one is something that I really like. And you can't give people with the least amount of information the most consideration. I'll say that one again. You can't give people with the least amount of information the most consideration. So it kind of bleeds into the previous point that I was making. The people that love you and care about you are the only ones that should matter as far as what you're concerned about. You shouldn't give them any consideration if they don't know you and they don't know what you do on a day-to-day basis. Basically outside influences, and especially as a coach, you have to deal with a lot of outside influences because the players have so many. The players have so much social media going on. There's probably a sensory overload that they're not even aware of that is taking place. And I think you got to be really aware and cognizant of that. Like, it's really, really important to understand who is in your circle and who is not. And the people that are not in your circle, the people that are not supporting you, those are the people that you don't really need to give consideration to. So I really like that one, and that was a good one. As we kind of wrap up, the next one is whatever you focus on grows. I mean, during the pandemic and when we had a drought here in California, I didn't water the lawn. The lawn got really brown. And once we had all the rains and things like that, and there wasn't really a water restriction, you could start watering your lawn again. We started to do that, and guess what? Our lawn is now green. Go figure. So whatever you focus on grows. And then the last one is going to be your behavior determines your character. That's one that you got to really resonate on, because for a lot of people, they look the other way for certain things, and your behavior is really all you have. Your character is really all you have at the end of the day. So I think that is a really good one as well. But yeah, that was the podcast today. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and look forward to continuing them. Actually, we're only 8 minutes in. I think I can give you one or two more. How about that? Next one. We won't know everything. If we always wait to know everything before we act, we will do nothing. I don't know where I got this quote, but I really like this one. We won't know everything. If we wait to know everything before we act, we will do nothing. This is basically saying, look, if you got something that you want to do, what are you waiting on? Why are we waiting? Let's do it now. Let's do it today. Let's get to it. Because if we just, I'm going to go start this business, or I'm going to do this, I have to learn every single thing before I jump into it. No, that's not the case. You got to jump right in. You literally have to jump right in, and you're going to mess up a whole bunch of times, and then you're going to figure it out, and hopefully you'll be better because of it. But most of the time when you do something that's different, you are going to stretch your boundaries, you're going to stretch your learning curve, and you're going to increase the production at some point. It may start off really, really bad. I think of the first day I started coaching, I was horrible. Now I feel like I have a pretty good grasp of, coaching or being a leader. You got to learn to be a leader. Leadership is not taught a lot. And so you have to learn how to do those things. And so those are just my thoughts for today. We try to keep these podcasts within 10 minutes, and we are right up on that. So here is the outro.
Thank you for listening to the Beyond the Buckets podcast. Please remember to subscribe, rate, and share the show with your friends. And until next time, take care.